Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I'll be talking about the Jets versus the Packers in the preseason. Before we get started, just wanted to mention you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY, and if you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast. All right, so this was the week from hell, not well for the Jets and also for me in a sense, and I'll explain. First, for the Jets in Green Bay, the number of injuries. Carl Lawson done for the year. Tried to make a video on that. Pause. We'll talk about that later. Couldn't do the preview. Pause. We'll talk about that in a second. Sheldon Rankins hurt. Denzel Mims hurt. During the game, there was injuries. And then from my perspective, technical difficulties all week long prevented me from doing a reaction to Lawson, which obviously I am very upset with, and a preview. So I apologize for that, but I'm here to do a recap today. The New York Jets would start with the ball, and boy, was it a nice looking drive to start the game. You had a beautiful pass from Zach Wilson to Davis on third down for 24 yards, which was a big one right there on the slant, and I think we're going to see a ton of that. Corey Davis on third down, really impressive stuff. Now, I do have to give credit to Stokes on Green Bay because he would end up breaking up a pass to stop this drive. The Jets were moving the ball pretty well, and they would end up attempting a field goal. Talk about that in a second here. But really nice play to Stokes, to break up the third down passing attempt to Davis. And that seems to be Zach Wilson's favorite target. Right now, we haven't seen him in a game with Elijah Moore, which maybe we'll see in the regular season. I don't anticipate we see Elijah Moore in week 3 of the preseason against the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Jets would send Matt Amendola out to attempt a 54-yard field goal attempt, and he hits, and it had some room to spare. That thing was probably good from like 65. He had a massive boot on it, puts the Jets up 3-0. And then the Packers get the ball, and their run game takes them right down the field. 8 plays, 75 yards for a score. It was Hill on the rushing touchdown, and the Jets' rush defense did not look good on this drive. Now, they would clamp it down a little after that, but that first opening drive was really not good for this Jets defense. Then the Jets offense really doesn't do too much. Johnson couldn't pick up a 3rd and 1. They end up punting from midfield on 4th and 1, which I don't like. I would hope they don't do that in the regular season, but in the preseason, I'm not going to get bent out of shape over it. Packers go 3 and out, and then here comes some fire from Zach Wilson. You had a beautiful RPO, which saw a really nice throw to Davis, which was off platform, which would then set up his first touchdown as a New York Jet, throwing to Tyler Kroft for 18 yards. Excellent drive. Really nice. We saw a lot of nice throws from Zach Wilson, specifically the off platform one on the RPO to set up the touchdown. And the touchdown, he put that in a really good spot. It didn't have to fire it in there, really. Had a good amount of touch on it, but put it where his tight end or receiver could only go up and get the ball. It was a really good play and positive signs. Now Green Bay gets the ball and they go on what felt like a never-ending drive. 19 plays, a 19-play drive. Isaiah Dunn was getting picked on big time during this drive. He did not have a good day. And eventually you'd get a Sternberger touchdown from Ben Kirk, and it was a lead for the Green Bay Packers as they go in front 14-10. But Zach Wilson would get one more possession. And a lot of people, after the touchdown, they wanted to take him out. They decide to leave him in, and off of a huge return from Corey Ballantyne, he gets it to the Jets 30. So he goes for like a 74-yard return. It was unbelievable. Wilson would then find Kroft again. This time it was a little play action thing, rolling to the left. Right, dump it off in the flat. And Kroft, how about that? Making some moves, looking like tight end number 1 right now. Chris Herndon stock down, Tyler Kroft stock up so far, 17-14. So Wilson finishes the day with some pretty gaudy numbers. 9 of 11, 128 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 11.6 yards per attempt, and a 154.7 passer rating. Really promising performance from the rookie quarterback. And about a half. He played a little less than a half. Mike White would come in. He would end up getting hurt. We'll talk about that a little bit later here. Some other things of note in the first half. Both Gerard Davis and McDermott were left with injuries. The card had to come out for McDermott. Don't want to see that. But overall, solid showing from the offense in the first half. Defense left a lot to be desired in the first half, but that's going to happen with a young defense. We've kind of prepared for this mentally at this point. In the second, the Jets force a fumble on the opening possession for Green Bay, and the Jets would get a field goal out of it. Amendola would squeak through a 46-yarder. So he has a good showing. He looks like the favorite to win this job right now. I know he's the only kicker on the roster, but I was somewhat of a proponent of they're going to bring someone in later. Maybe they still do that, but good showing from Amendola today. He hit on another long one. In the second half, some more notes. Hamilcar Rashid got hurt. Michael Carter looked explosive. I thought so anyway. He finished the day with 10 carries for 52 yards, a 5.2 yards per attempt. Really, really solid. Looked probably like the best runner. Coleman had some touches early on. He looked explosive. And we know what Ty Johnson is at this point too. So good showing from the running backs today, I thought. Jets would kick another field goal to go up 23-14. Then you had an Eccles interception. It was a tipped ball, but it was still a really nice play to, get his arms under it, make the play. Mike White, as I mentioned earlier, would get hurt, take a huge hit. He got hit twice pretty bad. James Morgan came in to replace him. He didn't really do too much. Morgan finished 1 of 3 for 5 yards. Again, not really a big showing there. Last couple of things, the Jets stopped at 4th and 1. Robert Saleh looked happy on the sidelines. And then at the end of the game, they were showing him fired up. And that's awesome. I love to see some energy from the New York Jets head coach. I was watching the game with my mom and my sister, and they noticed that too. My mom especially is not really a huge football fan. My sister watches and she's into it, but she was like, I don't think I ever remember Adam Gase smiling. I was like, that is 100% true. When did we ever see him happy? Ever. And the Lamar Jackson interception, that's what he was smiling about, Coach Saleh. Really nice play on the ball. He needed that as he had a brutal game against the Giants last week. So a lot of positives in this game outside of the injuries. Hopefully, once the Jets get the hell out of Green Bay, the injury bug goes away because that's been rough. One more preseason game, then it's for real in the regular season. That's going to do it for me. Leave your comments on your thoughts from the game in the comments below or on social media. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. I'll talk to you next time.